So Kira, we've reviewed in the past. Okay, this is Kira. And my criticisms of Kira are nothing like the criticism she is getting in this video and are not from her typical haters. Kira's typical haters are red pillars, misogynists, traditionalists, people who do not believe in feminism. Kira is very outspoken. She's very opinionated. My only criticism of Kira has always been she seems young. She seems like not as progressive as like I would hope, but to the people who criticize her, she's like super progressive. To me, she's not there yet, but that she's young. Okay. So my only criticism of Kira is that she's not ripe yet, and that is valid. Okay. All these people I'm about to show you who hate her, we are not on their side. I am disgusted at how her haters have reacted to this, and yet not surprised, of course. So Kira was punched by a bouncer, a person who worked at a club she was at. Okay, so she's going to tell the story, and then we're going to see the reactions.
I just got punched in the face by a bouncer at Ultraviolet Toronto. Wish I was kidding. I was told to stand to the side, and this man very rudely said, "You need to go all the way the fuck down." Like, he was just using it as a power trip, and I was just not having it. I was like, sorry, what did you just say to me? Because I have a hard time when men are just talking to me like shit for no reason, and you work for an establishment that, like, we're allegedly gonna pay at. And he was just having a really good time treating me like a piece of shit. I haven't encountered that kind of a toxic, hateful, enjoying talking to someone like they're garbage energy for no reason in kind of a long time. And then I was like talking to this girl that was working, because he was working, and I was talking to this girl beside him. I was like, you need to know that he can't talk to women like that, right? And she's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, she just starts going off. And they're like backing up towards me. And this is a short little girl at Ultraviolet. I don't know who she is, okay? And I don't know what her problem was. She punched me in the face. She punched me in the face, and everybody at Ultraviolet seemed to think that that was procedure. And I just want to let you guys know, do not go to Ultraviolet. They think ultra-violence. They think violence is custom or okay, or I don't know, but like, I haven't been treated like such garbage ever. I've never been punched in the face before. Like, I don't know. And I was obviously with people who were trying to stand up for me on my behalf, and like the alleged manager kept saying, "Oh, I'm not going to talk to you. Like, you're just hysterical." And I was like, "Sir, did you ask me my name? Did you say, are you okay?" Like, no. And he just had decided that I was too hysterical to talk to because I was crying. And he's like, "You're crying." And I'm like, "Yeah, I just got punched in the face by one of your employees, potentially." I don't know what they're related, but nobody cared. Nobody at Ultraviolet cared that I got punched in the face. And it's just like, I don't know if this is like what nightlife is or is supposed to be. It's just like, the bouncers can punch people? Like, what? Oh my God, this is why I don't like go out. But like, what? Ultraviolet, come to the front and explain yourself. Because every single person at the front didn't give up, or was like very much egging it on in a way that, like, I have to tell you guys, was terrifying. Like, was terrifying. I was not safe there, obviously. It's not a safe space to go. And I just have to tell people that, because to encourage a bouncer to punch a patron in the face, and literally, you guys, I swear to God, for 1.5 seconds, I was standing somewhere trying to get something out of my bag that they had asked for. And then the guy was like, "You guys are in the way, get to the fucking back." And I was like, "Do you need to be so rude?" He was like, "Talk to my coworker, she's worse than me." Come to find out, Miss 4'5" was worse than him. And it hurt, you guys. This shit hurts. Okay, I don't know, but nobody there cared at all. Like, I've never been so scared for the state of humanity, for the lack of whatever. I'm just some fucking bitch, right? Punch me, I guess. Because honestly, like, I never expected her to punch me. When she was like getting aggressive, I was like, what are you gonna do, punch me? And then she did. What? I've never been punched. What? Baby's first punch? What? Did I do anything back? No. Call the cameras. I would like to see the camera. I would like to see the cameras because I would like to see the people you pay punch me in the face from an up angle. Like, and you guys, what I'm saying is they were getting their shit off. They were getting their shit off. For some reason, everyone who's employed at that front door had an ego trip. One was, I'm gonna punch this tall lady. One man was just getting his, like, I don't understand what their gripe was and the chip on their shoulder, but they were taking it out on the patrons and, well, particularly me tonight. And that's scary. Whatever energy was going on there, whoa. Whoa, Ultraviolet, Toronto, fix it. That's some insane. That's dangerous. Hey, I got punched in the face. And everyone was like cool with it. I'm like not okay, to be honest. This might be whatever, but I just had to say that because like what? Because actually what? I gave Ultraviolet.
Okay, so just a few things. One, yes, chat. Apparently, this is a reputation at this place, which I'm assuming people don't know before they go, right? Like, maybe you knew the reputation, but she said she doesn't go out a lot. I'm assuming it was like maybe her second time going. Maybe she didn't think about it. I've been to places where like I don't think I've ever looked at a review of a place I've gone. Like, I don't think I've ever done that. You know, I just like, if my friends say to go or if people say to go, I've been, you know, I would just go. Like, the reputation is word of mouth. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like, I don't think that that's abnormal. But people were using it to victim blame her, by the way. They were saying, that's your fault. You should have known. Da, 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 da. But like, I feel like, again, we pause. Stop victim blaming people for going to a legal establishment that has a liquor license, that is approved by the city, that pays taxes. This is a goddamn business. This isn't an underground club where people are paying their grandmas, you know, underneath a table. This is a tax-paying business with a liquor license. You cannot treat customers this way and expect some people eventually to catch up with you, right? So just a reminder, before you start blaming Kira and saying like, well, she should have known and she should have done it, and da, 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 da. It's a literal business. Okay? It's a business. And businesses should not be running this way. Okay? So let's pause there. Now, okay, here's a follow-up. Here's an update.
Violet every opportunity when I was there to act like they cared about human safety or about violence and said, you. There's about 5 people, 1 white man, 1 black guy with dreads, 1 older man. I have some pictures, but I'm not showing them because I'm not trying to be like super annoying about it. But there was a white man who said, didn't you ask to get punched? Which is the craziest thing. One of the craziest things I've... Can you...
Okay, I'm going to say this out loud since we just covered this earlier on stream about autism. I do think Kira is autistic. I don't know if I've said that to you guys, but for me, she does give autism. And I'm not saying this as an excuse. Caveat, not victim blaming her. But I'm a little surprised that she did say, what are you going to do, punch me? And I'm like, girl, that is the universal. You don't say that to people because that's why people want to victim blame her. Because in other bubbles, that is the call to action. This is not an excuse. But if Kira doesn't know that, she's either homeschooled or autistic. Do you know what I'm saying? It literally, yeah, chat, it triggers people. I don't know why, because human beings are evolved, animals, we're mammals, we're like these like little biological creatures. When you say like, what are you gonna do? Punch me? I don't know what it does. It triggers people. Those people are still the reason the world sucks, not Kira. Kira is not the problem. But to protect Kira and all of you in the, first place, okay? These people are bad. These people are not under control. They do not have their bodily functions under control, right? She did not actually want to be punched. She probably thought she was saying like, what are you going to do? Punch me? Like, what are you doing? Is she diagnosed? Wait, chat said I thought she was diagnosed. Is she? I don't know. I've never heard a confirmation she's autistic, but if she is, that would make so much sense, right? Because like, I feel like she's so genuinely surprised. And by the way, that's why people are so fucked up, because they're like, how are you surprised? They're assuming maliciousness on hers. They're assuming she did this for attention. Women on the internet are saying Kira did this for attention. And I'm saying, I don't think so. I think Kira literally went in genuinely just like, no, she probably just wanted to stand up for herself, because like, why are you talking to people that way? Right? So like, that's what you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll get into wait until you see the responses. They're outrageously disgusting. They're like trying to, every part of Kira is being torn apart in the worst ways possible.
Can you imagine getting hit in the face? I'm sorry. Can you imagine going to a place that you want to have fun with your friends, and you're asked to stand to the side, and then a man is rude to you about standing to the side, and you have the audacity to say, did you need to be that rude? And then he brings his little girl to come and punch you in the face, and then a white guy says, didn't you ask to get punched in the face? He was so...
And I wonder if it was like a pairing, because if this business is known for this, then I wonder if they use the women to do the assaulting so people will feel less bad about it. Because another accusation Kira was getting is the way she tells the story makes it sound like the man punched her, and then all of a sudden it's a woman. All the misogynistic men on the internet who are like, Kira's telling the story in a deceptive manner. She's making it sound like a man hit her. She's telling the story right after the event while she's crying and there's a bruise on her face. Relax. Oh, and that's the other thing. They're like, she doesn't look like she got punched. Okay. Y'all just want any excuse whatsoever to discount the reality that this happened, that a camera has it on footage, and that witnesses agreed that it happened. Relax.
So serious. And it was scary. It was scary how I kept looking.
Hold on. Chad says she did make it sound like a man hit her. She did not make it sound like a man hit her, because she told the story and said a woman hit her. What your brain thought was her telling you that a man hit her was the title mixed in with how she told the story linear. The title is I got punched in the face by an ultraviolet bouncer. She tells the story in a linear fashion, which means she was first accosted by the male, which then your brain assumed was the one who hit her. That's not her fault. That's yours. And then she made it clear a woman hit her. So she did not try to make it sound that way. She just told the story in a linear fashion. That's it. That's how fucked up your brain is. Our brains are very bad at comprehending information. We do not want to listen when people talk. You're already jumping to a conclusion before the conversation's over. Listen, then come to a conclusion, right?
Looking different people in the eye, and none of them cared that one of their girls just punched me in the face. Like, Ultraviolet, come to the front. Because you didn't care when I was there. You didn't care when I was there asking you.
Yeah, Chet says, do you think it's her tone that's making the comments angry at her? If she was meek, less distressed, but teary enough, she would have received better. People hate Kira because she's got an attitude. And honestly, that's why people hate me. Because we're like, no. Kira pisses people off for the same reason I piss people off. No. You don't have to like it, but we don't have to change. Because at the end of the day, this is what you're dealing with. Because we know the bullshit. And look, I'm not trying to say Kira and I are the same. I literally am like 10 years older, and I'm literally saying she has so much to grow. But her personality doesn't have to change. The issue is like, maybe she's going to have a journey, let me tell you. But if she had come out meek, she can't. You know why? She's a tall girly. Listen to me when I say this. Kira is a tall girly. And when you're a tall girly, you are masculinized. You are assumed aggressive. It is hard for you to be tiny. And look at me, I'm 5'1", and people think I'm tall. What is the number one comment I get from people? Oh, Brittany, I thought you were tall. Yeah, because I'm aggressive. And because I'm and I'm aggressive in a bad way. I'm confident. I'm like Taurus energy. I think Kira's a Taurus, maybe. Right? But like, I understand you don't like her, but I think people hate her for all the wrong reasons. That's why I don't hate Kira, for the record. I just think she has like, she's a little like, she's not as grown as I would like it from a content creator, but that's okay. But I don't have anything against her, which by the way, I will remind you of why people don't like her. Let me just show it to you. She got famous for this TikTok, which I agreed with her on. So just like, fuck off. Okay.
Her medal off. After all of the, take her medal off. Was it you, Mr. Simone Biles, was flying through the air yesterday? Simone Biles commented on my video. Simone Biles, Olympic gold medalist, most decorated gymnast of all time, took time out of her day, I think she's at the Olympics, to comment about the situation about her husband wearing her medal.
When I came
Okay, right? I agreed with her. I do not like that man. I did not like the interview he did. And, you know, if Simone Biles wants to love her husband to the day they die, God bless them. But I do not like him. I do not like him. She's a Pisces. Shout out to my Pisces queens. Yeah, I agreed with Kira on this when it happened. Okay. And people were mad at her. People said this woman shouldn't talk about other people's man. She shouldn't talk about their marriages, that she has no business talking about this. Welcome to the internet, girls. Get off of it. You're going to post your man. Your man's going to go on a podcast. He's going to talk about how he's the prize. We're going to talk about it. Okay. We're going to talk about it. Don't post your man if you don't want us to talk about it. Thank you.
Maybe you'll care now, and it will be inauthentic. But like, honestly, you guys, this white man looked me in the face and said, "Didn't you ask to get punched?" And I was like, me saying, are you gonna hit me? As in, that's obviously ridiculous. Because obviously
I believe her. I believe her that she literally was like, what are you going to hit me? Like, she literally thought there's no way. And that, I'm happy for her. I'm so happy that she grew up in such a safe environment that she never got hit like that, because me too, girl. And may all your children grow up in an environment where getting punched is not the normal. Like, some of these replies are making it sound. Like, some of these people said she should have gotten punched and she should know how it feels. I am so glad Kira grew up in a safe enough environment that she has never been punched in the face.
obviously you work here, and obviously I'm a patron. Obviously, that's not part of the marketplace that we're in. That's not a serious... Didn't you ask to get punched? This actually happened. Like...
She's still
I'm
in shock.
laughing.
By the way, she's still in shock, by the way. This is her still in shock, right?
Because I don't know how to deal with this other than to just talk about it and be like, how...
She's being honest. She's been being transparent. She's literally telling you, I am so confused. I believe her. I believe her. She's literally telling us, guys, I don't know what the fuck is happening. I don't blame her.
insane is this? Because what? What's funny is the security guard lied about there being cameras. Like, we looked up.
Yeah, I agree. She was saying, don't be ridiculous, chill out, not punch me. Exactly. She was being like, relax, bro. Okay? Relax. But of course, like, people are animals. Guys, we are biological creatures. That's why we're so fucking dangerous, because we are a bear. That's why this whole world of like a bear or a man, I don't know, bro. A bear sounds safer sometimes. The way you guys justify all of this bullshit. You know what I mean? And a man didn't even hit her, but look at the way the men are going for her. Notice wait until I show you all these TikToks. So many men telling her she got what she deserved. And you wonder why we picked the bear over the man.
And saw a camera, and when we asked if we could see the video footage or told him to look at the video footage, he said there wasn't any. Which tells me one of two things. Either this girl does this a lot, she'd just be punching people, or maybe they're at Ultraviolet are just punching.
And look, I assume that that bouncer, because they have a reputation for it, was just kind of waiting for it. She probably gets off on it, right? Look, I know there are toxic bar scenes that exist in which men go to specifically pick fights. Fuck all y'all, go to therapy. Go to therapy. Go to therapy. And I know that. I highly doubt Kira thought that was this kind of an establishment. And I highly doubt she looked at the reviews before going. Okay? Based off of the TikToks I've seen.
Punching people. They think that we're stupid and that we can't look up and see, oh, there's a camera there to see, like, you can't just assault people. That's the main thing. You can be annoyed, right? You can't just punch people. And the fact that, like, we said, okay, where's the camera? Because they were trying to lie about it. And we're like, where's the camera? I was there. I got punched in the face. I know what happened. Where's the camera? Oh, we don't have camera. Yes, the fuck you do. Ultraviolet. How many times can I say your name? I'm actually annoyed because my dog's name is in their name.
Oh.
But anyways, Ultraviolet. Yeah, we looked up. There's a camera there. Let's see it. Let's see your girl. Let's see your girl punch me in the face. Please. Let's see them all egg it on. Let's see it. And like my main point is at Ultraviolet, they are...
And Chad, that's a good point, right? That bouncers are semi-explicitly allowed to move people out, to even punch people, right? But it's usually an unruly person who's causing a threat to other patrons. Given the context of the conversation, it wasn't enough. Because people kept saying that, like, yeah, bouncers are allowed to move you if you're being unsafe. Not if you have an attitude. An attitude isn't enough. And she barely even had an attitude because she's responding with the same energy. Don't you hate it when you respond to people with the same energy they give you? He gave her attitude. She gave him attitude back. That's all she was saying. She's like, you know what I mean? Like, please.
Excited to punch you in the face. Like, they're very excited to hurt you.
Yeah, great point. It's not even an attitude. She got punched. She literally got punched. She got punched and she didn't even fight back, which some men were so obnoxious. They were like, why didn't she fight back? Kira's trying to prove a point. Why are we throwing fists? My girl in this moment was so zen about it. How zen of her to be like, what the fuck? I'm not throwing punches. I'm not going to get a fight with you. And they're like, I can't believe you didn't fight her back. Why? So she can get assault charges? What are you, stupid? So dumb.
They're very excited to hurt you physically and hurt you mentally and hurt your feelings. Like, something about the people at the door, they want to suck your soul and they want it to hurt. And they want you to feel it. Like, before I even had an interaction with the bouncers, they were talking shit about my friends. And I could hear them. And she was saying, oh, he's so stupid. He can't even listen as much as my kid.
Which, by the way, this is why I say I do not go to bars. I haven't been to bars in a really long time. Not all bars are the same. Some in Croatia, especially, bars here feel like coffee shops. Everything is different everywhere. In America, there are dive bars. Every bar has a different scene. So I'm not speaking for all bars. Bars are not a monolithic experience, period. But there's a certain type of bar club. There's a certain type of place in which, like, I'm just too grown for. And I have a feeling it's this place. And Kira's younger than me. I think she's 10 years younger than me, if I'm not mistaken. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, right? She's 26. Like, we're having a completely different lived experience. Even my partner, after we got married, we both discussed, like, are we done with the bar scene? And we're like, yeah, we're done with the bar scene, but we're now graduating to the adult bar scene. Guys, you know there's a whole different bar scene for people who are old but don't want to be young. It's very chill. You actually just, like, enjoy alcohol. You do not get into fights. You do not try to fuck at the club. You just drink alcohol or chill or get an espresso. So, like, on occasion, especially when his friends are in town, we will go to a bar that's a Croatian bar. So it will be like a coffee shop with alcohol and we will discuss anime like philosophers. Okay? So, like, keep that all in mind that, like, just so you know, there is a grown-up place you can go to hang out with your friends.
Or my 2-year-old or whatever the fuck she said. I wasn't like, I was trying to have fun and not deal with her bullshit, but that's the bitch who punched me in the face. Like, they were already on a power trip, and then girls around me would be like, I believe you, even though I didn't see it because she was already on a power trip. So my point is, at Ultraviolet, your culture's toxic. I don't know what's wrong with you. You're fucked. You're messed up. Your culture is so sick and twisted.
It's so sick and twisted.
The evilest people working there.
And the fact that people on the internet justified it, that's what's crazy. The culture is so fucked up that people were like, well, that's just how it is at that bar.
Start a forest fire. Renew. Or close. I actually wouldn't care. Every single person who worked there was
This is in Canada. Chet says, is this the US? No, this is in Canada.
enjoying the fact that that girl punched me in the face. And I think you're disgusting.
Yeah.
It's come to my attention that it's not that hard to press charges against a bouncer who punched you in the face because they're like super not allowed to do that. And that's definitely why after she punched me in the face, she ran inside, which they thought I didn't notice. And then when we asked to see the footage, they were like, there is no footage. Then we looked up and we saw a camera. So, Ultraviolet, like, you're just not that smart. You're not very pretty and you're not very bright. Expect a knock. Like, I don't know how to explain that it's very easy for me to report this because why was your girl so eager to punch me in the face? That's a liability. You know that. I don't need to give you free advice. You're idiots. I really despise you. I despise everybody at that establishment.
She's very young, okay? But she's right. She's young. She talks young. She's like expressing her anger young, but she's right. She should not have been hit, and it's bullshit that anybody's making an excuse for it. I hope she sues them to fucking hell. I hope they close down. I hope they lose their licenses with peace and love. I do. Okay? She's ready. She's okay. I hope she sues them into the ground.
I spoke to 3 separate men who basically egged it on and they just were indulging in it a little too much, especially that white man who said, didn't you ask to get punched in the face? Go fuck yourself. A curse, a plague on all your houses. A plague on all your houses. And to
Wait, is she saying it like Canadians say it, or is that how is she making a joke?
a plague
A
on all your houses. And tomorrow,
That's so, oh my God. It's like big.
there'll be pictures. Ba-da-dum.
That power tripping fucking bitch up there, I saw
Oh,
her.
shit.
I just got hit in the fucking weirdo. I'm telling you, she's a fucking weirdo.
And everyone's saying
The
I
bouncer
deserved
there,
it.
she's a fucking bitch.
Oh shit, I didn't see
There's a girl
this.
crying here who got literally assaulted.
I know I just got punched in
And
the
they're
face.
trying.
Oh shit. I didn't see this. He makes like a little sign, What? Oh, I
There's a
didn't.
girl crying here who got
Oh
literally
no.
assaulted.
I know I just got
I'm so glad they got a video right after though. That's so good.
And they're trying.
Okay, so her friends did have her back and getting that documentation. Okay, now. Okay, so she's going. It's a whole thing. There's, an update. She's working on it. She's suing them to fucking hell. All the good stuff, okay? All the good stuff is happening. Kira's going straight to the sue, which she should do. Here are people's responses to it on the internet, and I'm so sorry at how angry you're about to become because I was livid for her. I was so angry for her. I know people don't like her, but I am reinforced every day in my bubble theory / understanding that people are so willing to be so fucking cruel and undignified to one another because they don't like somebody. How you treat people you don't like says everything about you. Okay. And I don't mean like casually don't like Kira doesn't like these bouncers and she's suing them, but that's different than people who are not even involved making TikToks about how she deserved it. Okay. Again, you have never seen me, at least not recently because I'm in my zen, make content about people deserving violence. Okay. I will explain why it happened, but nobody deserves it. You should have no enemies. Okay.
Based off how you talk on this app that you've never been hit or never thought somebody would. But I can tell, based off how you talk on this app, that you've never been hit or never thought somebody would hit you.
Haters just because like some people dislike me, but very few, if any, oh, you definitely did, da da da, oh, you did, da da da. Like, it was overwhelmingly supportive. I definitely didn't get any stitches saying I had it coming. But it's crazy. When I say I'm relishing this because I don't like her. I straight up don't like her.
Let's use these responses to me.
Now, hold on. I feel like I watched that second guy's TikTok, who I don't always like most of the time. I do not like him. But I thought he was quoting other people hating on her. Not Kira, but maybe not. Maybe I misunderstood
As a
it.
case study for a second, because I remember when the internet was dogpiling on these people using tactics that they're using. And I find it very interesting that, to be honest, Alexis came on my FYP today talking about something else. And I knew that she made a video about this. I did not see the video.
she came up on my FYP and I said, I know she has a video talking shit. I can feel it.
So here's the problem with TikTok. I know people don't believe it, but there are mutuals and there are bubbles and people have communities. That's why I like TikTok better than YouTube Shorts, because on TikTok, there's actual communities, which means people know names, which means she's like, oh, this girl made a video or this person did this, because they're all in each other's algorithm, right? Okay, which means, and I want to skip this video for a second, every stitch you're about to see is kind of that part of TikTok, which is why I'm not on TikTok. I'm already in the YouTube communities. People already know me. I already have I'm a connection somewhere in the tree. I don't want to be that on TikTok. I don't know how to be it on TikTok. I don't know how to enter this sphere and be like, hi. But like all these people who stitch, who create, they are forming a community. So here's an example.
Face by a bouncer at
This is a
Ultraviolet
stitch.
Toronto. Wish I was kidding. I was told to stand to the side, and this man very rudely said, you need to go all the way the fuck down. Like, he was just using it as a power trip, and I was just not having it. I was like, sorry, what did you just say to me? Because I have a hard time for an
For it?
He was just having me like,
Okay.
treating me like a piece of shit.
The way you painted this picture, the way you told this story is crazy. I got punched in the face at the club. This man was being mean to me for no apparent reason whatsoever, screaming at me. I tried to get a female employee involved. I got punched in the face. Everybody thinking that this man had put his hands on you. You talked about this man for a minute straight on how he was such a big bad bully to you. Just for you to turn around at the end of the story to say, then a female got involved, the female employee got involved, and then she hit me. For a minute straight, everybody's thinking, hey, why did this man put his hands on her? People got the attention span of squirrels now. Nobody's making it to the end of your video. So it's the narrative. Be careful with the narrative. And I'm not gonna lie to you, every time you come across my FYP, you be on some bullshit anyway. So I honestly don't think I like you for real. And that's just me being honest with you. You were the problem. You were in the line. You didn't want to go to the back. You didn't like the fact that man told you to do something. You didn't want to listen to him. You started the scene. You tried to get a female employee involved. She also wasn't going for your bullshit. She told you to go to the back of the line as well. You started the scene with her, and then she put her hands on you. That's the end of the story. I ain't got to be there, and I know exactly how it went down.
What is this? Why did you post this? Someone's going to date this man, and this man is going to raise someone's daughter. This man is going to marry maybe a woman. He doesn't seem gay to me. Maybe he is. Okay. He's going to marry a girl, and that girl's going to trust this man, and God forbid it happens to his girl. Do you know what I'm saying? What are we talking about, my bro? Okay. What are you even talking about? And for him to say nobody's saying, nobody has the attention span, that is not our responsibility. It's a 2-minute video. It is like a 4-minute at most. You got to watch more than a minute to get the details. Okay. She could have said, if her language was, there was a man there. So there was a man and there was a woman. Okay. All of a sudden you guys would have been okay. You wanted any excuse to decide Kira was the bad guy because you don't like her. Listen to me when I say this. I have been very critical of Kira. You will not see me defend any of you against her. Because again, my criticism of Kira is nothing like you guys. It's not that I hate her or don't like her. I just think she needs years. She's not there yet. But you are so much farther from her. These people who think they're so many light years ahead of Kira, you guys are literally in kindergarten and she's at least in 6th grade. That's what I'm saying. I'm in high school. But you guys are in kindergarten. That's what they don't understand. They literally think they're better than her. When to me, they are so behind her. They are literally so behind her that I'm like, I can't even see you. And they're sitting here criticizing her. Are you serious right now, bro?
She got punched in the face by a bouncer at the club. Mind you, a woman bouncer at that. What you come crying to us for? Whoop her ass. You should have whooped her goddamn ass. This should have been a story about how you and your homegirls jumped a woman bouncer at the club. Not about how you were so wrong, then you were just talking and then she punched you. No, you should have walked the dog and dragged the puppies on her motherfucking ass. You really let her get off on you like that? And you ain't do nothing? She just left unscathed? You said you 5'9", you should have suplexed that hoe. Suplex City. And listen, I understand you ain't never been punched in the face before. A lot of folks haven't. A lot of folks ain't never been in a fight, but this was the time to defend your own honor. Wasn't nobody gonna save you, huh? It should have been some barricades moving out there. You ain't never heard of talk shit get hit? If you talk shit, you need to expect you might get hit, and you need to act accordingly after the fact.
What am I supposed to say to that? What is that? What is that? That's patriarchy, baby. That's violence is always the answer. And it's ingrained in all of us. It's ingrained in everybody. Listen, very realistically, human beings, we're animals on a planet, girls. We have to do so much work to not be violent. We have to do so much work to be thoughtful. We have to do so much work to be compassionate. And it's like nobody's even attempting to be compassionate to her. And that is the misogyny of it all. That is the bullshit. By the way, that is where Kira's at. So here's Kira, a girl on the internet who constantly gets picked up and commented on by men, who's constantly being berated every time she has a passionate comment. And I know she's young. I get it. Okay? She's young. People tear her down. People say horrible things. And then she gets reinforced in her idea that feminism is the answer. It is. It's just she needs to keep progressing in her feminism, right? Because honestly, to be so honest with you, progressively speaking, what spaces you show up to is a reflection of that. Okay, the more progressive you are, the spaces you show up to will reflect that. And right now, she's just hanging out in a lot of spaces that are not progressive enough for me, okay? And that's not her fault. She's young. She needs time. I've been there. I get it. I've been 26, 100%. And that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for Kira to be 30, and I'm waiting to see where she is, right? But she's trying things out. She's trying to live her life. She's testing the water. She's going to a club. She's like, do I like this? Do I like this? Okay, well, being on the internet and having a lot of really blunt opinions. Okay, but these men act like they're not also men with blunt opinions, except their opinions are women deserve to get hit. And her opinion is nobody should be getting hit. So which one is more ethically right? Which is better for society on whole? Living in a world where people deserve to get hit, or living in a world where nobody deserves to get hit? Kira is by definition more ethically sound than any of her haters. Okay, that's it. All right, next one.
In the face by a bouncer, because I have a hard time when men are just talking to me like shit for no reason, and you work for an establishment that like we're allegedly gonna pay. And I was talking to this girl beside him, and I was like, you need to know that this is a short little problem.
I'm sorry, but ain't you the same bitch that sat there and...
See, this is why men can't say the B word. You're not allowed to say that word. I don't know what your name is. Benny, B word revoked. You're not allowed to say it. Okay? You're not allowed to say it. I took it away from you. Thank you.
talk shit and was disrespecting Simone Biles and her husband?
No, because that's a stranger and a celebrity on the internet, not her auntie, not her mother, father, sister, brother. And all of us were disrespecting that man because he was disrespectful. Okay? The way these people act like they're friends with Simone Biles. She does not know you. You're not her friend. Okay? If anything, Kira is closer to Simone because Simone commented on her TikTok. Okay? So why are you acting like you're out here defending Simone's, reputation against Kira, who made a TikTok? Ridiculous.
And then when she commented and told you to watch your fucking mouth, you sat there and instead of apologizing, you know what I'm saying? You took more time to fucking troll.
Because first of all, just because Simone said watch your mouth doesn't mean we have to. She's not our mother. Respect to Simone Biles. But you know what I mean? Just because, listen, same thing with Kristen Bell. I just made a whole video about her, how her husband at 12 years sucks balls. Yeah, don't put your relationship out there in public unless you want us to comment on it. That's why my relationship is not on the internet. See how I did that? Do you see how my relationship is not on a podcast? Because I know what will happen. Everyone will take either perfectly innocent thing out of context and make a 12-minute live stream on it, or they will see the abuser for what they are, Kristen's relationship, okay? But it is what it is. Don't put your relationship in the public like that. But they are because they're celebrities. They are because they're athletes. He's a NFL player or whatever, right? So they have reputations. But he's the one with a microphone who got on a podcast and said what he said, that he was really the prize, and it offended people. Because, who are you? I've never even heard of you. Thank you.
And throw more shade. You the same bitch that did that? Oh yeah, you are. Because I made a video about you and then you blocked me for it. You should.
Yeah, see, that's also what they get upset about. Why wouldn't Kira block you? There was like, Kira blocked me, Kira blocked me. Oh, Jackie Aina blocked me, Jackie Aina blocked me. Well, stop talking shit in their comments. I'm gonna block you too. That's what I'm saying. Oh, Jackie blocked me, Kira blocked me, Brittany blocked me. Guys, you sound stupid coming to my place of work, leaving comments in my shit. Of course I'm gonna block you. Why would you come to my space at work and then expect us not to block you? That's what I'm saying. Like, please lock in, bros. You can't make make your videos, but we are not entitled. You are not entitled to us not blocking you. Same criticism. Brittany blocks. I can't believe Brittany's blocking all these comments. Brittany's blocking all these people. You are literally not entitled to my space.
Got punched. You would have got punched in your shit back then if you was in her face. So dry them fucking tears. She gotta be mixed. You got a white mama, don't you? You just look like you got a.
I'm not going to comment on that. I'll leave it to the black people in my community, but that feels fucked up. That feels, I know there's something about it, but also that kind of feels fucked up. What's that? I know what I know what he could mean by it, but since he's putting it in a package of misogyny, I don't trust it.
White mama. Bitch, you got punched in your shit. She didn't care because you was supposed to move the fuck back. Was that your first time at a fucking club? You notice she started the conversation with describing the man talking to her, and then she slid on in there who actually fucking.
See, they're thinking she's manipulative when she's just telling the story linear. She's not being a manipulator. She didn't sit there and think, I just got punched in the face. Hold on, pause. Anyways, guys, wait. We should say the man did it first. Oh, we should talk about it like it's a man. Okay, girls, okay. I just got punched in the face. It was a man, but he didn't punch me. Like, she didn't do that. She literally got punched. She was literally activated. She gets on. She's telling a story step by step how it happened. And then your brain ran with it and thought it was a man because typically it will be. To be fair, typically it will be a man. But it just happened to be a woman who punched her on behalf of the man.
Punched her. Yeah, I wonder why she did that. Because she was trying to justify them fucking crocodile tears with
The fact that they think she was faking her tears is insane. She was obviously really crying. The fact that they literally think it's fake crying. Crocodile tears means fake, y'all. That's what that means. The fact that he thinks they're fake tears is crazy. The way she was sucking up her boogers, that's real, girl. You're just not sucking up your boogers for nothing. She was out here, you know what I mean? That's real. Her face was puffy. She got punched. She was literally crying.
Capturing your attention with you thought the man was the one that punched her. But no, a bitch punched in her shit. Rightfully so, because back the fuck up.
Oh, rightfully so? So now we're saying it makes sense in that context to get punched. Again, even with the pro-life story, because I remember people in the comments were like, I can't believe Brittany is justifying this punch. I literally never justified it. I explained why it happened and explained how it not to happen in the future. I also explained that you have to be accountable for this. You can't just go around punching people. I also explained how with Gabby Petito being murdered by her boyfriend and she, quote, hit him first. Mind you, he slapped her so hard that a pedestrian seeing them or a person driving next to them had to report them to the cops, right? He murders her. So just a reminder that people can egg you on until you are triggered enough to fight back and all of a sudden you're a bad guy. Or in some circumstances, somebody hit you first and it was fucked up. We need to have serious conversations. Guys, lock in. Violence is crazy. Femicide is up. Intimate partner violence is up. Society is crumbling before you and you are literally justifying violence because you don't like somebody. Let's please get it together. And you don't like someone's attitude. She's not even a Nazi. Okay, you talk about punching Nazis. She's a black woman on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, relax. She just hates Manosphere and red pillars. Relax. Okay? And you're sitting here saying she deserved rightfully to get punched because you don't like her? Yes, check out my links in the chat right now. Support for women. Women for Change. South Africa is doing a protest. We're going to wear black tomorrow, Friday. If you are in South Africa, they're asking women, LGBT people to refrain from giving labor because the G20 summit is happening and all these world leaders are getting together. And they need to pay attention to the amount of women and femme people being targeted and killed, the amount of gay people being targeted and killed. And we have to understand that women's labor is real. Women's presence is necessary. And even in the gender binary or even outside of it, regardless, if you perceive Kira as just an annoying, loud, obnoxious, aggressive woman, and you think she deserves to get hit because she is that way, you are a part of that problem. You are adding to the statistical probability that some man will feel entitled to killing their girlfriends because they don't like them. And that's bullshit. That's why this is serious. It's all connected. It's absolutely connected. You think it's not connected. It is. Every single man who got on the internet and said she deserved to get hit is absolutely participating and condoning the behavior of all these men who take it a step further. Because what if she had died? What if she got hit just hard enough to die? What would have been the justice in that? What if she got brain damage? What if she lost an eye? What gave that person in that circumstance, that woman who probably is suffering from internalized misogyny, because in what context would that woman need to hit her? If that woman was progressive, she wouldn't have hit Kira. She hit Kira because she's not progressive, because she has internalized misogyny, and that's the only reason she would have hit a woman. Why are you putting hands on a woman? Okay? In what context was this justifiable? And this all leads into this idea that people feel like, well, what did you do? Did you trigger him? Did you make him mad? What were you doing? Crazy. Chat says, and probably a little racist too. Look, I don't know if the girl who hit her, what ethnicity she was, but I see in my chat, I acknowledge you that a lot of it could have been race being a part of this. I wouldn't put it past it. Again, especially with the white guy saying like, oh, like you were asking to get punched. Ma'am.
Bouncer tell you to back the fuck up. The people that work to tell you back the fuck up, you move. Someone, I can't believe I just have.
Also, I don't know how much of colorism, like you said, chat, is playing a role in how people are responding to Kira. I think a lot of people don't like her because Kira feels privileged. Kira feels like she grew up in a safe neighborhood. Kira feels like kind of homeschooled. And I think autistic, right? Like, that's why I say she reminds me of like an autistic homeschool girly. So I feel like a lot of people hate Kira because like, that's what I think he meant by that, do you have a white mom comment? Because sometimes they say, correct me if I'm wrong, that Black kids raised by white mothers tend to be more disconnected from Black communities and or Black culture. But what does that even mean if everyone who's getting up on this TikTok is a Black man saying she deserved to get hit? Please tell me that's not Black culture, because I certainly don't want that to be pushed into the zeitgeist, given that's white supremacist talking points. White supremacy would tell you that that's Black culture, and I'm telling you that's bullshit. And I think Kira feels like that's bullshit. And I feel a lot of us feel like that's bullshit. But again, you can speak on it because I don't want to speak. But that's what it looks like. Right now, it looks like a bunch of Black men getting on TikTok talking about how she deserved to get hit. And that looks crazy. The optics of this looks crazy. But it's not unique to Black men. For the record, it is unique to patriarchy and is specific to misogyny. This is why Gabby Petito was killed by her white partner. Okay? This is why I forget her name because I haven't learned it yet, but I'm looking into her story. This woman who just got killed by her coworker with a sledgehammer was killed by a white coworker who felt entitled because he was angry and didn't like her, right? So be very careful about what parts of patriarchy you decide to cling to, because it is coming at the expense of people you should be protecting, okay? It's not unique to Blackness. It is unique to men raised under patriarchy. And women who also internalize the misogyny. So like this girl hitting this other girl. Yeah, did you guys hear about the sledgehammer? Disgusting. Imagine you come to work as a welder and your coworker hits you in the head. And she complained to HR 5 times, by the way. She complained to HR about this coworker 5 times. And he hit her. He bludgeoned her to death. How fucked up is that? Okay? So just keep that all in mind. Okay, this week's pod's going to be really heavy. Get ready for it. It's going to be all about it, girl. I'm sick of it. And that's why I am supporting Women for Change out of South Africa, because, you know, first they included LGBTQI people, so I know they're good. But 2, they really are serious about, hey, rise on intimate partner violence it's rising. Intimate partner violence is rising. Femicide is rising. It's getting more because gender-based violence is getting more intense. Men are feeling more entitled to fighting women. That's the conservative narrative in the United States as well. This administration is making it so men with microphones feel empowered to say that women shouldn't be able to vote or women should die. By the way, another woman just died trying to get an abortion. A black woman, of course, because black women are literally neglected by this white supremacist medical system, and I'm fucking sick of it. Okay, I'm sick of seeing it happen. Late 30s, mother already had kids. She was having a very tough pregnancy. She asked for medical help. They denied her. Texas, she died. She's dead. For what? For fucking what? Amber, thank you. The woman who got murdered with the sledgehammer. Amber. So many names to remember. So many names. I should not have to remember so many names. And yet here we are. I'm so frustrated. I'm so annoyed. Discord said, just want to mention colorism specifically happens to darker skinned people, not light skinned people. Oh, colorism happens in the reverse. You're right. Thank you for that. Thanks, Discord. Okay, let's see. Chat, just catch up with comments. They don't like loud, opinionated, light-skinned women because they haven't unpacked their own trauma from colorism. Same with Amanda Seals. Oh, so that's okay. That's what I was thinking. That one, because I do see both. I see like kind of a dislike of like this is so deeply heavy in colorism, and I understand it. In Assyrian culture, it exists, but it's more like wanting to be closer to whiteness from an Assyrian perspective, which I don't want to speak for Black communities in this regard. But that's what I was thinking is like, are they mad at her because like she hasn't been punched and she hasn't had to deal with this and she didn't grow up like them? And so there's like almost like a jealousy almost, but I don't know. Because in Assyrian culture, it can feel like a little bit like if you're white, you just get privileges, bro. You get privileges. It's gross, but it's true, you know? Chat says, what is this man talking about? You don't get to mistreat people because you work there. You still have to respect your patrons. Why does it feel like people have to just take getting treated like shit? Exactly. What makes these people think that you can just hit people because, right? I think, yeah, let's finish this.
I have a hard time when men talk to me like shit. No, you got a hard time with somebody telling you some instruction. Because when Simone told you to shut the fuck up about her husband, you did the same shit. So it ain't just, oh, when men talk to me like that, shut the fuck up. And she must not have punched you that hard because as light as you are, your shit should have been fucking knocked the fuck out. So even that part of the story is probably fucked. She probably just mushed your ass because you was supposed to back the fuck up. For whatever reason, back the fuck up. You like, Shawty's story ain't no different than the DoorDash girl. And we saw what happened to her. Y'all better stop this shit, bro. But see, this is the environment y'all created by that believe all women we pick the bear bullshit. Because bitches can get on here and just boohoo fucking lie and exaggerate and crocodile.
What was the lie?
I'll tear their way to fucking sympathy and automatic belief. And they be bullshitting. That's why she set the story up the way she did. A woman punched her in her shit. She started off by talking about trying to blame the man. And a whole bitch punched you in your shit. And that's even if she did that. She probably, like I said, mushed you. Because that's what a bouncer's supposed to do. Clear the fucking way. Get out the way. Don't matter. Move, bitch. Get out the way.
Wow, he thinks he's clever. There's some conversation happening in between my YouTube comments and my Discord about the colorism comment. I will just say in terms of categorization to just validate everyone's perspective, there is a category of never Black enough, never white enough, never Assyrian enough, never American enough that puts it so when you're not Black enough and you're talking about Black issues, people don't want to count you in, which is what I see on my my Donna Briggs video where people said Donna Briggs isn't Black because she has like a white grandma or something, or like so-and-so isn't Black because they don't have Black grandparents or whatever. And that's one category of you're not Black enough. And then there's the category of benefiting from being biracial or light-skinned because white supremacy rules. So there's that, right? So I think there is a validation to those two bubbles, and my autistic brain sees both of them. But I think you guys would agree more than disagree, though I see there's a disagreement happening between the two chats. And I just want to say, like, I feel like that's what was being said in most good faith. Yes, that obviously we know there's like a group of people that discount you as being a part of the culture and this is universal. This like happens in a lot of bubbles, right? Because you're like not, you know what I mean? You're not like, you don't know the language. You hang out with the people. You don't, and then like, oh, you grew up in this neighborhood. You didn't even grow up with us. Like you don't talk like us. You don't hang out with us. And then there's the other side of just benefiting from being, lighter skinned because of white supremacy. That's what I assume the comment was saying, right? Am I wrong? Is that what you were trying to say, guys? Because I feel like, you know what I mean? I know it's very like sensitive, right? Chat says the colorism convo is touchy. My opinion on the treatment of light-skinned women is a bit out of a hot take. Okay, we'll take it as it is. Oh, I just wanted to say that's how my brain heard it. But, if everyone, I know it's touchy. So, okay. Chat says, yes, even being fully black but living in the suburbs, you can be told you're not black enough. Colorism convos are always messy. Yeah, it is. And I especially being like a white-skinned Assyrian woman, I don't want to speak out of turn, obviously, but I hear you and, okay, let's go ahead. Oh, wait. Chat says, I agree. The invalidation sucks, but colorism is more systematic. Like there's not reverse racism. Oh, true. Yeah. Oh, pause. 100% agree. I don't think, oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, pause. Colorism, systematic, dark-skinned people lower on the totem pole than white-skinned people, racism. And individually, people might have resentment over the privileges you get being light-skinned, and they might not understand that, so they might take it out on you because they see how much you benefit from the system, which is why Kira might be targeted as like not being like loved, which I assume was what we were saying, right? Because I have that lived experience as an Assyrian person. Like I have that literal lived experience in a different way where I see it with my cousins and I see how we're treated differently. And I'm like, okay, but systematically, I agree. Okay, yeah? Are we okay with that? We're more on page? Okay, we're more on page with that? Okay. Her father is black. Okay, noted. I don't know anything about that. But there you go. Okay, next video. Okay, so then there's this one. Oh, her mom is Filipina? I love that. So she's Filipina and black. Love that, Kira. I mean, she's very pretty. I love that mixture. We just assumed she had a white mom, but Filipina is like, love that. Okay, now, lessons not learned in blood are so soon forgotten. Wait, whoa, pause. Whoa, let's deconstruct that. Whoa. Lessons not learned in blood are soon forgotten. I'm sorry, sir. Come over here so I can cut off your hand so you can recognize your misogyny. Will you learn the lesson then? What? Oh, you're talking about your friend, not Kira. Oh, I thought you meant Kira was Filipina. I was like, I did not realize this. Okay, never mind. Scratch that. Skirt. Did not process that information. I thought you meant Kira. And I was like, whoa, I did not know that. Okay. Lessons not learned in blood, soon forgotten. That's the craziest thing they read that out of the Bible. You know what I mean? That's like, they read that out of the Bible, right? Discourse that I agree with what you said, but with the person said Kira facing colorism is not accurate. If they think that's the fundamental misunderstanding of what colorism is and how it shows up. Well, I don't think they meant that, right, chat? I don't think you meant like colorism as a systematic, issue. I think we cleared it up in the YouTube chat, right? I feel like if I'm reading the chat correct, but I agree, Discord, like you're right. Colorism is Kira isn't facing colorism, right? We agree. Kira was facing prejudice because people fucking hate her, and she's now continuing to face prejudice because people hate her, right? People are wishing harm on Kira for existing because they don't like her attitude, right?
In the face by a bouncer at Ultraviolet.
I'm gonna skip.
And this man,
I'll make a long story short. Her video was like 5 minutes long. A bouncer at a club told her essentially to back the fuck up. She didn't want to back the fuck up. She said she didn't like the way he spoke to her. So another female bouncer came over, also told her to back the fuck up. She was complaining she didn't like the way the dude spoke to her. To the female, she's like, well, you can't talk to girls like that. And the chick's like, well, I don't give a fuck. She still refused to back the fuck up. And the female,
I just want to point this out. Is he whispering or is he soft-spoken? Because I couldn't talk like this if I tried. And I always think that's so interesting. You're in your car. You could be talking at normal volume and he's not. Is he whispering or is this how he talks? Because this is very interesting. As a person who talks like this, and I always look like this, my mom always says, it always looks like you want to fight people. I do not want to fight you. And then see, that happens. I'm not angry. This is not angry. Look at me right now. I am literally not angry. I am literally talking. But people were like, oh my God, you're so angry. I'm literally not angry. I'm literally making a fucking face. And they're like, well, then why are you talking like this? Why are you talking like this? But he just has this soft voice. He just has this like soft voice. And I'm like, what? I wish I could talk like this. People also take loud people less seriously, which I think is racist.
I'll bounce her, then punch her in the fucking face. People are wondering if she's lying, if she's making it up, if she's embellishing. Sounds like something that's missing from the story. Did you say a little more? Were you a little bit more aggressive than you're saying you are? Were you just talking calmly? Were you talking shit to those bouncers and you talked to the wrong one and the female pushed you in your fucking mouth? But I'm not interested in any of that. I want to lock in on this one single part of the video that makes everything about that chick make sense.
Like, I haven't been treated like such garbage ever. I've never been punched in the face before.
Did you hear that? That makes all of her content make so much more fucking sense, because this is the first time in her life that she has faced a real life consequence for some shit that has come out of her fucking mouth. She says the most volatile and inflammatory shit I have ever heard in my fucking life, particularly about men. Her whole thing is man hate, right? But she's so comfortable about it because she's never been punched in her fucking mouth before. This is her first time as an adult getting punched in her face for running her fucking mouth. It all makes sense, because what that's why.
Hello? And they wonder why she gets on this app and talks shit about men. Because the same group of people that are coming out here are saying good she got hit in the face, and they're men. And the women who are doing it, I'm sorry, girls, you can work on your pick me problems in therapy / your actual not inability to deconstruct your internalized misogyny. But like, yeah, they literally hate that she talks about by the way, she's like anti-red pill. Do you know what I'm saying?
Men are generally super chill between men, until we're not. It's because we understand the threat of violence, and for women it's not there.
Yeah, exactly. You only behave because you're afraid of getting your ass whooped. You shouldn't be getting your ass whooped. Nobody should be getting hit. You shouldn't be fighting. This shouldn't be the standard. Men make the world a more violent place because you continue to uplift this bullshit. That's the point. That's what we mean when we say you're uplifting patriarchy. This is patriarchy. Patriarchy is training little boys to exist in a world where they should always be ready for a fight, instead of raising a world where you don't have to be ready for a fight because we're chilling. Hello? This is the problem.
That's why women tend to fight with their words and yap a little bit much. But this is her first time ever being punched in the mouth. And whether, she may be a victim here. I'm not saying that she's not. She may very well have just had some overly aggressive bouncers that, felt like they wanted to knock somebody the fuck out that day and she got punched in her face. But this is a valuable life lesson. This is a beautiful moment. This is the crux of who you will be now for the rest of your life. Because now you understand that when you run your fucking mouth, it leaves it open for space for a fucking fist to fit in that shit. And her name on here is Kiara Brio, whatever the fuck.
Okay? It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Okay? So again, we understand in certain contexts, we see an injustice happening and we see someone get punched and we're like, look, you shouldn't be punching people. I get why this happened. Okay, why did it happen in this context? What was Kiara doing that warranted a punch? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, in which way was Kiara acting out of turn that warranted a punch? Because I understand, you and I can think of so many circumstances in which it's like, fuck around, find out. And we still, at the end, shouldn't justify the violence. But we can kind of get it. What is the thing you're getting? What did she do that in your mind warranted a punch? What was happening? And why are you getting on here and being excited about it? Like, what? That's what I'm trying to make you understand. Like, it's not that we can't all think of circumstances in which we're like, well, I hate to see it happen, but also, okay, what did Kiara do? What did she do? What did she do?
Give us a whole story about how she got punched by a bouncer. And throughout that whole story, how she was telling, you would have thought it was a man. The whole time, it was a female bouncer that did that to her. And what really got me by surprise, actually I ain't surprised, but the part where she said she ain't never got punched in the face before. Now, I done seen a whole bunch of her videos. And it all makes sense now. That's why she be talking the way she talk. But you know, she ain't the only person on this app like that. Yeah, she has a nasty mouth. It's a lot of people on this app with a nasty mouth.
Why do they keep describing her as a girl with a nasty mouth? What is that? Usually when I hear men describe women as having a nasty mouth, it's like hypersexual or cussing or something like that. Why do they keep saying, when they're like, oh, she talks about men, are they that butthurt by her content? Are you literally that butthurt about her content that you feel like she deserves to get punched?
Nasty mouth. Be saying some of the wildest and the craziest things about people on this here phone. But you can tell like they ain't never had no repercussions for their actions in real life. That's why I say when I disagree or when I talk about people on this app, I don't make it personal. However, I did call somebody soft and they got very upset about that. But I ain't think that was a big deal considering how that person talks about people on this app. But for the most part, it's a lot of people on social media with these opinions that don't understand Newton's third law of motion. You go out in the real world with these opinions and you get to talking to people how you be talking to people. Yeah, somebody will hit you in the mouth.
Yeah, so again, listen, I understand, okay, that men are trained to always be ready for a fight. Do you guys want to stop that cycle? Because that doesn't have to be that way. 2, I understand that you hate this woman enough that you're excited she got punched. You should ask yourself, why am I giddy she got violently attacked? Again, I'm a human. I understand that I'm not sympathetic to everyone. I'm not sympathetic to Charlie Kirk that he died. Charlie Kirk was a racist and a bigot. He hated black people and gay people and trans people. He spent his life dedicated to hurting marginalized communities. I'm not sad he died, but I didn't wish his death. I'm not excited he died, and I'm certainly not happy about it. A lot of people had to witness a really horrible situation happen. Kira isn't even Charlie Kirk, but they talk about her like she is Charlie Kirk. They think she's doing, they talk about her like she's on this app ruining men's lives when she's literally anti-patriarchy. Because these men know she's a threat to their stability and they hate her for it. They know that she wants to see the system that makes their violence feel natural and normal disintegrated. She knows that at the end of the day, this is exactly why she has to do what she's doing, because the men on this app come here and celebrate violence towards her for simply existing, for standing up for herself, for as a patron saying like, hey, like, relax, don't talk to me like that, or whatever she said to this guy. Okay. Or she said specifically to the woman, like, hey, he shouldn't talk to women that way. And this woman went, yeah, why? She talked to the woman because she thought the woman would be safe, by the way. And this is why you should be worried about women who uphold patriarchy. Because women who uphold patriarchy will throw women under the bus for men. This is why Kira talked to the woman and thought she would be safe. Girl, do you hear the way he just talked to me? And this woman threw a woman under the bus for the sake of a man. Crazy. Here's another one.
Just got punched.
Ain't saying she just come.
Wish I was kidding.
It's the new method, y'all. Just come to the internet crying, tears in your eyes, saying something happened to you, and you ain't do nothing to deserve it. I ain't saying she lying, but let's keep listening. Let's keep listening to what happened to her.
I just got punched in the face by a bouncer at Ultraviolet Toronto.
Right.
Wish I was kidding. I was told to stand to the side, and this man very rudely said, you need to go all the way the fuck down. Like, he was just using it as a power trip, and I was just not having it. I was like, sorry, what did you just say?
Is he driving and acting this crazy with his facial expressions? How do these people get on this app recording themselves driving? You should all get your license revoked. Every single one of you who record while driving, and if you are holding onto your phone, you need to get your license revoked, period. How dare you make TikToks while you are driving a literally killing machine? Go fuck yourselves, all of you. Start revoking all these people's licenses right the fuck now. Start doing it, girl. I don't care if you're recording no hands, okay? If you put the cameras up on the thing, that's fine. But if you are holding your goddamn phone, license revoked, bro. If you are pausing, if you have to click buttons while driving, revoked. Stop it.
You just say to me,
look at him. He's literally bouncing in his little cutout.
I have a hard time when men are just talking to me like shit for no reason, and you work for an.
Do you remember that guy? Do you remember that guy that like got in trouble for driving and talking on the phone or talking and recording, and then he showed up to his like meeting while driving a car and recording? The cop's like, the judge is like, are you driving right now? And he's like, yeah. Anyways, I don't know how real that was, but it just came to mind. I don't know if that's real.
Establishment that like, we're allegedly going to pay at.
Right.
And
yeah, and no live streaming and no reading chat while you're driving. That's crazy.
He was just having a really good time treating me like a piece of shit.
Yeah, he was really getting off on it.
I haven't encountered that kind of a toxic, hateful, enjoying talking to someone like they're garbage energy for no reason.
Right.
In kind of a long time.
For sure. Cry it out.
I was like talking to this girl that was working, because he was working, and I was talking to
his energy's so bad, dude. It's so bad.
this girl beside him. I was like, you need to know that he can't talk to women like that, right? And she's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, she just starts going off.
Oh, her too?
And they're like,
they literally think she's making up the story. Even though there was cameras, even though her friends were there, even though the establishment, by the way, I have update videos from Kira. The establishment reached out to her and said, how can we make this go away? We fired the bouncer. The bouncer's fired, by the way. Okay, the bouncer's fired. And the business said, how can we make this go away, basically? And she said, oh, you want to make go away? So just FYI, for all those people who are trying to come at Kira and act like she made it up,
backing up towards me, and this is a short little girl at Ultraviolet. I don't know who she is, okay? And I don't know what her problem was.
Oh, she had a problem too. Okay.
I'm gonna forward it a little.
For no reason, you were just standing there, and no reason. For no reason, you were just standing there, and he just starts being a dickhead for no reason. And then he calls the girl bouncer, and she just punches you for no reason. That, you know, I find it hard to believe. Now, look, you could be totally right, but you...
No. It's never for no reason. But the reason, you know what I mean? Like, it's never no reason, but the implication is that Kira brought it on herself. When Kira says, for no reason hit me, meanings no justifiable reason did you hit me. And he's saying, oh, no reason? There was no justifiable reason? No, there wasn't a justifiable reason for hitting Kira.
Specifically, are one of the ladies that everyone has to question. Because we've seen the script written. Y'all just following the template now. Hop on the internet, say that you weren't doing anything whatsoever wrong. A man was being mean. And then this is the update, right? They got a software update. A woman just walked up and just punched you in your shit. Yeah, that's what happened. You wasn't doing shit. They said back up, and you had to let them know that a man...
He's so aggravating. All these men are so annoying to me because they're exactly Kira's whole point. They are proving Kira's whole point with every response they put out. It's insane how they perfectly fall into it. And this is why we have got to pay attention to little boys. We have to raise sons better. We have to raise kids better because they are literally everything she's saying is a problem. And they're just so excited to see her suffer. Why would you be so excited to see her suffer?
He was I don't know how you know he was enjoying talk to you on the power trip or whatever. I don't know how you can interpret all his feelings like that. It's not like you could project that onto somebody through your lived experiences and experiences you haven't lived but internalized off of the internet, right? But you put all that on him while you were telling the story to build to make him a bad person. And
this is like the same group of men that are turning their icons green. So did you hear in South Africa, because the G20 summit is happening, women in South Africa are asking everybody, LGBT, everyone to rally and participate by turning their icons purple to bring awareness to the protest because all of the world leaders will be in one spot. And we can talk and they can bring this to, the forefront because like gender-based violence is up, femicide is up, right? that it's centered around the G20 summit happening, and men were so upset because it's happening in November, which is I think it's men's like cancer awareness month, and I think June is mental health awareness month. They're so angry, they're turning their icons green as a protest that women are co-opting a month that's supposed to be for them. Ma'am, come on now. Come on now.
And you told the story about the man first to get the ladies on your side. And then you snuck in there that some woman, and you giggle. She was so small. You're crazy. And then she just
She's crazy. Sir, this video's crazy.
socked him. And we're supposed to believe that they are just bad people who like to punch people in the face for no reason.
Oh, this aged really poorly considering, yes, the bouncer is fired, the club is apologizing, and they're trying to make this right because this place is about to be shut down because it is not the first time this has happened.
And you didn't do shit wrong. This is what I'm talking about. Now I'm a victim blamer for saying, yeah, hold on now. At this point, specifically on TikTok, we need video. We need everything. I'm the victim. We need everything. I need to.
So if we need everything, then why are you talking about it? Shouldn't you wait till you see the video? Or is her video not the video? But I'm sure you like the 10,000 likes on this video. I'm sure you like the attention.
Know the full story about everything. Because, again, you were just standing there. You're an NPC just standing there, and they started being fucking mean to you. I guarantee.
That wasn't even the story. Like, that wasn't even her story. That's what's crazy. Okay, ready for reprieve? Everybody take a deep breath.
Scenarios to justify why someone got punched. If you have to make up scenarios to justify why someone got punched in the face, that's your conscience talking. You should listen to it. Recently, a creator named Kira got punched in the face at a nightclub in Toronto, and a lot of other creators have ran on here making videos basically justifying what happened to her because they don't like her. I want to reiterate that none of these people were there, and despite what Kira said, despite the person who hit her getting fired and the owner apologizing to her and trying to make it better, and despite her having a police report and pursuing it legally, these people still made up scenarios where she provoked this punch. Most of their claims were basically because she's inflammatory online, that means she's inflammatory in real life, and that means she was inflammatory in that moment. A lot of men came out here and said that she makes anti-men content, and so her getting hit makes them happy. Some people said that they were happy that she said she'd never been hit before, and that's why she talks like that, and now that she's been hit, she'll know to be in line. I can't even start to break down the psychology of that, but I would like to say the implication is everyone who said that has been hit in the face, and they're still online making content. I don't think violence does what you wish violence did as far as controlling people's behaviors. Listen, at the end of the day, feel how you want about her, and honestly, feel how you want about the situation, but it destroys your credibility to hop on a bandwagon like this without knowing the whole situation. If you feel like Kira deserved to be punched, you should be able to, just from what the information she gave in her video, justify that punch without having to add and make up things and start a wild hate train. You shouldn't be frothing at the mouth anytime someone you don't like gets put up on the chopping block, because it will be your turn too.
So there's something to be said about the way people have handled this in general. And the reason I want to talk about it is always because, again, when you're a victim of something, and you can be a victim and a perpetrator at the same time, it's very hard for people to understand the nuance because they don't want to. None of these men wanted to understand it. They did not want to hear her. They did not want to give her a chance. And I understand, coming from a house that hit their kids, I understand that you think punishment and violence will right wrongs and will fix behavior. It doesn't. We know it doesn't. We know why the prison system doesn't work. We know why cops are scary. We know why people in uniform are unnerving. We know why ICE is scary. You know for a fact that being violent towards community members is not the answer. So that's what's so dangerous about these men, because I feel like these are the same men, okay, that want all of the credibility and resources when the cops pick them up, because men will be picked up by cops, and our brothers and our family members will be people we need to help. And then we need to look at the system and say, you unfairly picked this person up. And this person, maybe they were in a tussle, still needs to be seen not as what they look like, not because of what they did or what they believe, but they need to be handled in justice. And that's what's so scary. Everything is connected. You're letting Kira get hit because you don't like her. We're letting you get arrested because we don't like you. We should not be letting people get hurt because we don't like them. This is why I go back to say again, I know it feels good to have this conversation because when you're angry and unhealed, you want to punish the people who have hurt you. But there's not really justice in that, guys. But I understand if you're not in a healed space, why that feels hard. Okay? I do. Right? Chat says rare, but I actually just hard disagree with Brittany here. I think the guys do understand and are laughing about the surprise on her part. Wait, and also 100% we shouldn't let people we don't like get hurt. Wait, they do understand? They do understand what? As in, yeah, tell me, expand on that. Let me know. Because I am curious. But I would say that, laughing in spite of understanding. Well, I think they're suffering from a very typical response in people, which is I think they're having a biological response in the sense of satisfaction, and they're reading the satisfaction as justice. So often when bad things happen and we feel good about it, we think that's justice, but it's not. In the same way, that pro-lifer getting punched in the face felt good, but it wasn't justice. But it felt good because she was egging this woman on. She was triggering this woman on purpose. She was being rude as fuck on purpose. She wanted something to happen and it did. And then she felt justified and now she could use it against the pro-choicers, right? Like that pro-life woman went to the streets of New York that day to piss somebody off to get a viral moment so she could be on Fox News, and it worked. Because she used a very typical, very cruel method of triggering somebody into violence. That is not justice, hitting this woman, but it felt fucking good. Because we knew it was wrong of her. We knew she was doing this on purpose and pissing off this woman. She said this woman told her that there is rape and assault happening in the families. And she said, fuck that. I don't care. You can't abort your baby. Without ever thinking about what this woman just told her. We are so online. We forget. And I understand somebody says, oh, I was raped. And you're just like, Anyways, so statistically, which I understand because not everybody needs to be emotionally in the moment when we say it. But when we say it, we should pause and just think about what that means. Hey, little girls in my family are getting raped and impregnated at 11 years old. I don't think they should be having that baby. And then for the pro-lifer to be like, but does that baby deserve to die? Are you neglecting the whole part where we just told you an 11-year-old was impregnated? Don't you have questions? And so it's like this thing where like so I understand that you might be feeling satisfied, but it is not justified. Okay? We can't be treating people like this. And we're never going to actually solve our community problems if we do this. And let me just say this. If you're mad at Kira for talking bad about men, you are exactly the men she's talking about. And not one single one of you deserves any defense. I hope your lawyers can defend you when you need it, but I hope you have no girlfriend to go home to tonight, because no woman should be in a relationship with a man who laughs at Kira getting punched. Hey, great first date question, girls. What'd you think about Kira getting punched? And if he says, fuck around, find out, that's the end of that date. Okay? That's the end of that date. That's it. And these men wonder why they're single. And these men wonder why women don't like them. And these men wonder why we don't think they're protectors. Chat says, if you get mad at a content creator, why not just block and move on? Well, for these guys, it's because it makes them money, and that's the point. They want to fight with Kira. It builds their, you lose money. Like, I'm not exaggerating that is the ecosystem of this space. If I fought with every man that was mad at me on the internet, I'd have so much more money. Guys, men pay your bills because they're so angry. Like, and that's, it's kind of, I get it. It's kind of why on my podcast, I do center a lot of my content about like bad men, because bad men pay your bills because they're so angry and they hate you so much for existing. They will make sure in your comment sections, and then they will pay your rent with their anger. It's you know, and the way I do it is in a distance, like Drew Afawalo. You make the content, you post it, but you don't actually go head to head with any of these men, because if they're ever in a room with you, they are the ones who will kill you. Isn't that crazy? They're so mad at you on the internet. I guarantee you that these are the men who will kill you. Just because you made a YouTube video. You know, kind of crazy. And by the way, you made a YouTube video where you said, hey, people should treat each other better. All Kira said is like, why would you punch me? Why would I ever think you would punch me? And everyone made fun of her for thinking that people would treat her with dignity. God forbid. Anyways, good luck suing them. I hope everything goes well for you. And I hope no one else has to get punched in that establishment, because it sounds like they are not a good one. Okay, shout out to Canada. Good luck figuring that out.